Quit with that nasty-looking lunch. Eat this one Grandma made, LOL. My Mill kicked the lunch I made and said that we were flabbergasted, though my husband got angry, and our daughter also tearfully appealed to Mill. She didn't budge. However, someone who joined us later saw everything and was absolutely furious. It made my husband turn pale. My name is Sarah. I'm 35. I live with my husband, Tom, who's 37, and our first grader daughter, Lily. Tom and I have been married for 8 years, but relations with my Mill are durable. Actually, she disliked me even before we got married. This happened when we went to introduce ourselves for the wedding. Nice to meet you. I'm Sarah. I hope you'll enjoy this. I presented traditional Japanese sweets, a favorite of my own mother. However, my Mill Olivia took one look and pushed them back, saying, "Oh, I'm not a fan of these." "Didn't you even bother to find out what your Mill likes?" I had asked Tom, "What does your mom like?" and had done my research. I even consulted my mom to prepare these treats. Despite that, Olivia pushed them away. Tom desperately said, "Mom, you've always loved these. Why the sudden change?" But Olivia coldly replied, "Recently, I've been into cakes and pastries. Thought you'd know that by now." Thus, my first impression on her ended quite badly. We got the marriage approval, but ever since, whenever I met her, she always had a snide comment. However, there was a time when things changed, even if just a bit. It happened when I found out I was pregnant. It was our first year of marriage. I was suffering from severe morning sickness. During that time, Olivia started coming over to help with chores like cleaning. It's all for a healthy baby. I started to feel like our relationship was finally mending. Even when I was well into my stable trimester, Olivia occasionally came over and asked if there was anything I needed help with. Though I didn't really need her to do any chores for me by then, I was just happy that we were able to have cordial conversations. When I reached my final month, I gave birth to my daughter, Lily. Olivia was the next person to rush to the hospital after my husband. I felt so grateful, almost to the point of tears, that she was that concerned about me. However, her kindness stopped there. As soon as my daughter was born, Olivia shifted her attention solely to her. Turns out, her ultimate goal had always been the grandchild. I was nothing but a tool to bring a healthy grandchild into the world. Proving that, she quickly took Lily from my arms and said, "I'm your grandma." She didn't offer me a single word of comfort. It even seemed like she was going to take the baby somewhere and just leave me there. Somehow, my husband Tom managed to get Lily back from Olivia, and we returned home. That's when Olivia's daily doting on her granddaughter kicked off. I had left my job to become a stay-at-home mom after giving birth. We never put Lily in daycare. I always took care of her, but Olivia just couldn't stay away, coming over to our house all the time. It's no exaggeration to say she was there almost every day. She would arrive and say, "Let me take care of Lily. Sarah, why don't you go do something else?" As she took Lily from me. If I'd been able to breastfeed, maybe I could have had a chance to reclaim Lily from Olivia at that point. But I couldn't produce enough milk, so we used formula. So, Olivia ended up doing all the caregiving for Lily. She'd tell me things like, "Sarah, make sure Lily's room is clean," or "separate Lily's laundry from everyone else's." And I ended up having a lot to do anyway. Olivia was over the moon, coming over every day to take Lily away from me. However, whether Lily would grow attached to Olivia was another story. Thankfully, Lily was growing up to be a very smart child. By the time Lily started kindergarten, she started noticing that something was off with my relationship with Olivia. After all, Olivia was at our house nearly every day, taking care of Lily. And there I was, diligently doing housework all around them. Normally, I'd be enjoying my time with Lily, too. So, it was a weird situation that I had so little time to spend with Lily. Lily seemed to sense this. Eventually, she began thinking about how to improve my relationship with Olivia. Summer vacation started for kindergarten, and Lily began staying home more often. Olivia had been looking forward to it. To mend the relationship between us, Lily suggested that we all go out together. Olivia doesn't like outdoor recreational places like pools, so the plan was to go to an air-conditioned mall. However, Olivia tries to exclude me by saying, "Lily, if you're going out, why don't you go with Grandma alone? Looks like Mom's busy with stuff at home, LOL." But Lily clings to her grandma, saying, "It's okay not to clean for one day, right? Mom always keeps the house nice for us. Come on, Grandma, please listen to Lily's request." With that, Olivia had no choice but to agree. "Fine, but just for today," she says, allowing me to join the outing. That said, most of the time, Olivia hogs Lily, and I feel left out. Still, I was touched by Lily's earnest attempts to include me. Despite Lily's efforts, the relationship between Olivia and me didn't improve. Olivia has no interest in getting along with me. In Olivia's eyes, she dislikes me but adores Lily. There was nothing more to be done about this dynamic. Eventually, Lily started elementary school. She's smart and athletic, so she got selected for the relay race at her first school field day. Lily got chosen as one of only 4 kids in her class for the relay. "You have to come watch," she excitedly reported to me. She shared this news in front of Olivia and Mark as well. "Grandma, Grandpa, Lily is gonna be in the relay, so everyone has to come watch, okay?" Olivia and Mark looked pleased to hear it. Olivia was especially smitten. Being chosen for the relay is really something. Of course, we'll be there to see Lily shine. Lily looked happy too, and just like that, the day of the school field day arrived. Unfortunately, Mark had to join us around noon due to work commitments. Luckily, Lily's relay race was scheduled for the afternoon, so he could just make it in time to cheer her on. In the morning, the first graders had a foot race and a dance performance. Tom, Olivia, and I were all enthusiastic supporters. Lily absolutely dominated the foot race, coming in first by a long shot. She beamed at us, clearly pleased with her performance. The dance performance, set to a popular song, was also adorable, and we made sure to capture it on video for Mark. She was also actively participating in cheering competitions and really putting her all into it, making us quite emotional. Then came lunch break. We had planned to have a picnic, so Lily came over to where we were sitting in the stands. "You did so well, Lily," Olivia praised her as she arrived. In the meantime, I had been preparing a lunchbox filled with Lily's favorite foods. I had started the preparations the day before and woke up at 4 a.m. today to finish it. Just as I announced, "All right, everyone, let's eat," that's when it happened. Olivia deliberately kicked the lunchbox I had prepared, scattering the food everywhere. We were stunned. Only Olivia began cheerfully preparing another meal, saying, "Lily, forget about that appetizing lunch. Have the one Grandma made for you, LOL." Both Lily and I were speechless, unable to believe what had just happened. It was then that Tom was the first to speak up to Olivia. "Hey, Mom, what on earth are you doing? Sarah worked really hard on that lunch. Kicking it away like that is beyond rude." Lily seemed to snap back to attention at those words, saying sorrowfully, "Grandma, that's mean. Now I can't eat the lunch Mom made for me." As for me, I stood there, unable to move, just staring at the remnants of the lunch I had been so excited to prepare. What just happened? Why did it turn out like this? I couldn't fully grasp the reality of the situation. Amidst this, Only Olivia responded cheerfully. Come on, you two. No need to get so mad or sad. I've brought a lunch too, and it's full of Lily's favorites. Make sure to eat up for the afternoon relay race. Haha. Even though Tom was angry and Lily looked heartbroken, Olivia didn't seem fazed at all. Then Olivia said to me, Sarah, what are you spacing out for? Hurry up and clean this mess. Really, you're such an inconsiderate daughter-in-law. Clean the mess. She must be talking about the lunch she kicked, right? I couldn't think anymore and just started cleaning as I was told. Then, in that moment, Tom muttered softly, Dad. When I looked over at Tom, his face had turned pale. What's going on? Curious, I followed Tom's gaze. There was Mark red in the face with anger. It was the first time I'd ever seen Mark so visibly upset. We've been married for 8 years, and this is the first time I've ever seen Mark act like that. To be honest, he's never made much of an impression on me. Most of my interactions have been with Olivia, so I haven't had much to do with Mark. Mark has always been more of a background figure in my eyes. He's usually grinning away behind Olivia, and now to see Mark genuinely angry is startling. It seems to have shaken Tom as well. When Dad gets angry, it's never a good sign. I heard him mutter that under his breath. I'd become a little excited to see how this is going to unfold. And then it happened. Lily suddenly started running and went up to Mark. Lily, what are you doing? Tom seemed to think the same thing and tried to stop her. But Lily got to Mark before he could stop her. She whispered something into Mark's ear after asking him to lean down. We couldn't hear what it was, but Mark nodded, his face getting even redder. Finally, Olivia seemed to notice Mark's presence, and it took her this long to realize that he was fuming. Honey, Olivia cautiously called out to him. Then, Mark grabbed Olivia by the arm and led her to a shaded area away from the bleachers. What's going to happen now? We watched as they moved away from the crowd. Mark went a short distance away and faced Olivia. Then, in the next instant, I felt like I heard a smack. Turns out, Mark had slapped Olivia on the cheek. That said, we were quite far off, and the crowd was noisy, so I might have only imagined hearing it. As we kept watching, Olivia suddenly sat down, seemingly collapsing under the weight of the moment. It looked like she was saying something to Mark, but he cut her off, yelling, "Don't mess around." We heard that loud and clear, and so did everyone else. The surrounding noise instantly fell into a hush. I'd never heard Mark raise his voice like that. Olivia looks frightened. Well, I'd be more surprised if she wasn't scared, hearing that voice up close. After that, Mark, realizing perhaps that this was neither the time nor the place, pulled Olivia by the arm and walked away. We were staring blankly at the whole scene, but then snapped back to reality. We apologized to the surrounding families. Checking the time, the afternoon events were about to start. Though still bothered, we had Lily eat the lunch Olivia had prepared, and then sent her off to her afternoon relay race. We had some time before it started, so I talked briefly with Tom. I've never seen him so angry before. Me neither. It's been a long time since I've seen him that mad. I can't even remember when it was last. My husband seemed lost in thought. Is it that bad? Besides, they say nothing good happens when Dad gets mad. What's going to happen now? I can't help but be a little excited to see how things unfold. But that's our little secret. Lily's relay race took place. We cheered at the top of our lungs. When Lily got the baton, her team was in third place. She took off running. Then, Lily quickly closed the gap, and before you knew it, she surged into first place. Her team maintained the lead and finished first. We hugged each other in celebration, and with that, Lily's team, the red team, won the field day. Just as we were about to head home, celebrating with Lily, we got a message from Mark. Could you stop by here before you head home? It was a short message, but it left no room for discussion. So, we decided to swing by my in-laws' place. Come to think of it, what did Lily whisper to an angry Mark? I've been wondering about that for a while now. On our way to my in-laws' house, I asked her, Lily, what did you tell your angry grandpa? I told him that Mom always gets picked on by Grandma. It's not the first time, you know. What? You said that, Lily? My husband was the first to express his shock. I too was surprised, as I had not expected her to say something like that. But she was only stating facts. Still, it was probably the worst timing for Olivia. Anyway, I guess Lily knew what she was doing. When we entered the living room at my in-laws, there was Olivia, sitting formally, her eyes red from crying. And then Mark dropped the bomb. I've decided to divorce Olivia. What? Our voices overlapped in surprise. Lily seemed puzzled, like she didn't understand the meaning of divorce. Never did I think things would escalate to divorce. Mark had been grilling Olivia about their life together, down to the smallest detail. Or rather, he kept saying divorce was on the table if she lied, so she had no choice but to answer honestly. After hearing the whole story, Mark was furious. Even though she didn't lie, he served her with divorce papers. The reasons were her excessive bullying toward me, and for today, it was her disrespect for food when she kicked my lunch. Those 2 points seemed to weigh heavily. Olivia tried to argue, but with Lily spilling the beans, Mark's mind was made up. Tom said, when Dad gets angry, bad stuff happens. I was able to prevent a divorce last time he was mad, but considering what's been happening to Sarah, I can't stop this one. Looks like they're destined to divorce. Fast forward, Mark and Olivia officially divorced. Tom had no intention of stopping it either. Once Lily understood what divorce meant, she said, I don't need a grandma who can't get along with Mom. Even though Olivia spoiled Lily from a young age, it seems like she shot herself in the foot in the end. After the divorce, Olivia went back to her hometown. It seems there was no place for her in this community. As for us, life has been peaceful and calm since we cut ties with Olivia. Our home is quieter without her constant visits, but I'm okay with that. Being disliked for no reason can be pretty tough after all. In the end, I never did find out why Olivia disliked me so much. From now on, as a family of 3, we're going to work together to make sure we have happy and harmonious days ahead.